Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Kevin Will Kick You YouTube channel. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. And I wanted to make more videos across this weekend, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to because I wasn't feeling well. So, tomorrow I will be posting more and I will be recording my regularly scheduled Kevin Will Kick You show, episode number 40. Looking forward to that. And I wasn't expecting to make a video tonight, but we have a passing bomb as Devin Williams has signed a 3-year contract with the New York Mets, the veteran reliever. Depending on which source you look at, it is worth anywhere between 45 and 50 million dollars. On the surface, it's a good move. The Mets needed bullpen help. It was one of their weaknesses in the 2025 season, and getting a veteran reliever will certainly help. Unfortunately, Devin Williams is coming off the worst season of his career in 2025. In 67 appearances, he had a 4.79 ERA. He entered that season last year with a career ERA of 1.83. But according to this article that I read on MLB.com, uh, he just had a lot of bad luck last year. His FIP was more than 2 runs lower than his ERA at 2.68, and his expected ERA was 3.84. The hard hit rate against him, while a career high, was alarmingly high at 35.7. So it does seem like he did run into some bad luck last year. Of course, it doesn't help that he plays at Yankee Stadium, and that place is a fan box, so him playing in a more spacious ballpark should help him and his numbers. On the surface level, it's a 3-year deal for a veteran reliever. It's worth around $50 million. So you're talking about anywhere around the ballpark of between 15 and $20 million a season, depending on what the accuracy of the reports are. And that's not terrible. That's definitely not terrible. However, there does become a looming concern when it comes to Edwin Diaz because he still has not signed yet. And if this is just a setup move to bring in a reliever before Edwin Diaz, I love it. It's a great move, even with his inflated numbers last year. But if this means that Edwin Diaz is gone, obviously this is a downgrade. It's probably as good of a situation as you can get replacing Edwin Diaz, but you're not going to be able to replace Edwin Diaz because he's one of, if not the best closers in Major League Baseball. And he has been tied to possibly signing with the Dodgers. And if Edwin Diaz leaves the Mets for the LA Dodgers, I'm going to quit baseball. I'm just not going to watch because I'm not going to watch Edwin Diaz and the Dodgers ruin baseball and win their third straight World Series. And then there be a lockout, and God knows how long baseball is going to be gone. So I'm praying on my hands and knees that Edwin Diaz returns as the Mets closer, as well as Pete Alonso. I mean, these last couple of off seasons have been absolutely agonizing. Wondering whether we're going to have our star players return or not. Obviously last season it was improved by the signing of Juan Soto. He had an amazing year, literally the best season of his career offensively. And, unfortunately, we ended up falling short. But we can't afford to lose Edwin Diaz and Pete Alonso. So I'm thinking that the fact that we're moving on from Brandon Nimmo and bringing in Marcus Semien means that they're bringing in more bats because Semien is more of a defensive second baseman. So hopefully, obviously, I don't think this will be the last of the moves for the Mets. Obviously, they have a lot of things they have to improve on after last season's collapse and failure. But this is a pretty decent move for the Mets. I'm excited about it on the terms that Edwin Diaz comes back as Mets closer. If he doesn't, it's still not a bad signing, but I will obviously be pissed and disappointed, as will every other Mets fan. But if it's an addition to the bullpen, it's great. And we hopefully can get more veteran, trusted bullpen arms back there. We're going to have AJ Minter coming back after missing last season with an injury. So we'll see how this ends up working for the Mets. But if you like this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I post. And I'll see you again next time.